New poll shows 60% of all Americans oppose the Don't Say Gay bills. You notice bills. A new ABC Ipsos poll shows that 6 out of every 10 Americans oppose Don't Say Gay bills. Republicans were more likely to support the legislation at 61%, while 20% of Democrats and 35% of independents supported it. While support for such bills does rise with age, no age group showed a majority of support. The highest support was shown in those 65 and older, with 43% of respondents showing support.
Well, as
Good
people
news.
get older, then, the younger generations will be absolutely supportive.
I mean, I think what these polls show us is that if we had the same people voting who are answering polls, then these people wouldn't get elected that are passing these bills. So, don't answer polls, register, vote, and get active in your community so we don't elect people to pass these bills.
And by the way, proof of that is the last 4 presidential election cycles, the Republican nominee actually lost the popular vote, in some instances by millions of votes.
Right.
Fun fact.
Let's
Fact.
get rid of the electoral college after.
Well, even without the electoral college, we'd still be a nation run by minorities. I mean, the way the Senate is set up as a co-equal branch to a slightly more accurately representative House of Representatives, and each state gets to do its own thing. And Wisconsin, I think I've used this before, but in 2018, their midterm, they had like 57% of voters voted for Democrats for the state legislature seats, but they only won 45% of the seats. So we are a gerrymandered country, and it goes. And I agree with you on the electoral college. I'm just saying it's a bigger thing.
Yeah.
And that's completely what the situation is, not only for Wisconsin seats, but for the Supreme Court and for the national election, all the way down to the school board. And really, at the end of the day, over the last 20 years, Jeff's actively involved in a national task force. Equality Florida would say it, SAVE would say it, the HRC would say it. Over the last 20 years, our advocates in LGBT have rang the bell and rang the bell and rang the bell, while the Republicans have literally kicked the Democrats' ass, basically, and created this situation. And now we're just slogging up a hilltop to try to get to the top of the hill, but it's a lot harder.
We need to stop taking the high road. Democrats take the high road; they won't stoop. So
we do
I
come
think
back.
we need to stoop a little bit.
We stoop a little bit.
Stoop to their level.
I will gladly bend
Is that a
over
real
for the
word?
cause.
Yes. Get down in the
The good news. Let's not escape the good news in this story. This was brilliance of the labeling of Don't Say Gay. That was a brilliant move. So we stooped to accomplish that. And it started in this focus of it's kindergarten to 3rd grade, which does not exist sexually.
there's no-
So
They're
they
making
created
laws.
stuff,
Yes.
but they didn't do it for that. They did it to create the beachhead, the foot marker, so they can expand it in the future. They aren't even at majority in what they started with, which was the most obvious that they could do. So it's only going to get worse for them, and we can take solace in the fact that it's going to get worse for them. But we've got to keep the pressure up and stoop down to their level, right? LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus